There wasn't much cash brought to the table by the Saints to keep Jameis Winston, his base value on his contract, about $5.5 million. He can make more than $12 million in incentives. He had a media availability on Tuesday, I believe it was. I can't keep my days straight this time of year. But Jameis Winston, among other things, spoke about his relationship with Drew Brees. This is powerful, powerful stuff. Have a listen to what Jameis Winston had to say about his 1 year with Drew Brees in New Orleans.
Well, that moment to me was like being able to have an entire season with Drew Brees was a dream of mine. Like, and for him to put his arm around me or, just give me any encouraging words after I saw the resilience, the passion, the way that he went and approached every single day. But that to even be a story, like I was touched by that because he doesn't even know how much he means to me and my family, for real. But I'm not gonna share what he shared with me. I don't even remember, but it touched me. Having a chance to play in the playoffs after, like, winning a playoff game, like getting a chance to throw a touchdown in the playoffs. Like, I love football. That's all I've done my entire life. And someone that I look up to, that I admire, that I actually could touch, was my teammate, and I had a chance to serve him. Like, man, I'm speechless to that. Like, that really gets me emotional because I really love Drew Brees. Like, I don't think he understands. I know my wife do. I know my family do, but I don't understand the impact that him and a lot of other quarterbacks had on me as a quarterback growing up in Bessemer, Alabama. Y'all don't never understand, like, a lot of people don't understand that human aspect to an athlete. But, nah, man. Just know I love Drew Brees for real. Like, I really do. And I was just happy that I was able to witness what he did.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I was blown away by that. We had it last night on PFTPM. It blew me away then. Seeing it again today, it blows me away. I'm impressed with the passion and the emotion coming from Jameis Winston, and it just shows you what an impact Drew Brees has on his teammates when that's the impact that he had on a guy who wasn't even on the field with him except on that gadget play when he threw the touchdown pass in the playoff game. I think Drew was still on the field for that.
Yeah, he was.
So I don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be for the Saints, but you know what? Sean Payton's got two that he can choose from, and two that he can use interchangeably. And we know how this goes. He's going to keep it quiet. He's going to maybe put out some misinformation, and we'll find out come week one who his quarterback is.
Yeah, we'll see. And he's going to let them compete. I mean, that's the one thing you know with Sean Payton, too. It's going to be a real competition. Like, yeah, Taysom Hill might get to start with the first team, the first week and do all that. But, it's not going to be like one of those, like, hey, it's a competition. I'm saying that, but I continually let one guy be the starter and show the team that he's really the starter, even though we're saying competition, out there out loud in media sessions and things like that. I think it will be real. Taysom Hill's going to have to earn it. I think he's going to have to earn it too, just because you want to make it look like the guy earned it, to the rest of your football team. It's one of those things, again, you got to be careful about anointing the guy the starter, and then Jameis Winston goes out there more days of the week and dominates practice, or also all of a sudden has a preseason game, and now your team's going, what the hell is going on there? But what did you want to say something to that? I thought you're absolutely right. You have to have credibility in the locker room. You can't prop up Taysom Hill if Jameis Winston is clearly the better guy. No doubt.
Here's the question. Here's the question. Is this a true competition where it goes to the best guy, even if it's only by a little bit? Or do you think that the Taysom Hill contract and the history gives him an advantage where if it's close, it goes to him.
I think if it's close, it goes to him because of that. You're right. I do. I think if it's close, it'll go to Taysom Hill because of he's been there. He's been a good Saint. He is Sean Payton's, pet project and all of those type of things to where if it's really close, I think Taysom Hill gets the benefit of the doubt, And I think the team can rally behind that. Again, hey, the team's going to go into the year 2 going, wait, can Taysom Hill really be the guy? Is he really? So they're going to want to see him prove it in training camp and preseason and do all that stuff too. It's a different year, to be the guy instead of like, hey, I'm the cool little toy that comes in and, can do some different things than Drew Brees. There's not a lot of pressure in that type of situation. But, yeah, I expect to see a real competition. And back to what Jameis Winston said there, that is amazing. I mean, it really is. You could tell he's touched in general. He probably feels like, hey, he's got a second, life in football, a second chance here to make something. And, I was fortunate to see a guy who won a Super Bowl my rookie year right off the bat. But when you're a guy like Jameis Winston, who's really not been around a guy like that in his years in Tampa, as much as he thought, I'm approaching practice in a professional manner, and I'm doing meetings, and I'm really about my business. It's when you get around guys like Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or those kind of guys, you start to go, damn, I'm not doing enough. I didn't realize what they do to be so awesome all the time. I thought I was doing what I needed to do, but, there's those times where you need, a coach or a player to kind of show you the way. Not everybody comes in the league knowing how to be a professional and how to approach it. And that's where it's important. And that, to me, that seems where, like, Jameis Winston gets, real emotional because I think it's probably changed his outlook on the game and how he has to approach the position. And he's just so happy that he's going to get a chance and then that he got to learn from Drew Brees. This is pretty damn special.
Yeah, it's been a master class for him. And it reminds me of when he was at the Pro Bowl for the first time and he was loading up his plate with eggs and bacon and breakfast stuff. And he sees Russell Wilson and someone else coming back from a workout. That was his epiphany that if I'm going to be serious about this, I got to bust my butt all the time. And think about historical comparisons, and I'm having a hard time coming up with one.
Yeah.
Where, and this speaks to the motivation that Jameis Winston should have going forward.
Right.
He is playing for a team in the same division as the franchise that made him the first overall pick in the draft, that kept him for 5 years, that brought in a coach, hand-picked coach to get the most out of Jameis Winston. That coach threw him overboard after a year, brought in Tom Brady, won a Super Bowl, beat the Saints in the playoffs to get there. If that isn't motivation for Jameis Winston to do everything he can to win the job so he can beat the Buccaneers every chance he gets and outcompete them, that's his real competition. It's not Taysom Hill. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can't think of another time, and maybe there's one out there that I'm not thinking of, and if anyone thinks of it, go ahead and email it to us, Florio at ProFootballTalk.com, or tweet it to us, where there's a quarterback who was rejected ultimately by the team that drafted him, and he's there in the division.
Yeah, Drew
and he's
Bledsoe
got a chance to
was
be the
only
starting
one
quarterback.
That came to my head, Drew Bledsoe, right? With
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills. But no, Mike, I mean, your point's still real. I can remember that with Drew Bledsoe and the Bills. Remember, and I think they played the opening game that next year, and the Bills, laid it to the New England Patriots and blew them out and all that. The Lawyer Malloy year.
That's a year. You're a year off.
I'm a
right
year
church,
off?
wrong pew.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That was 2003. But 2002 was the year that he played for the Bills after being traded for a first-round pick.
Okay,
when
gotcha.
Tom Brady became the guy
Right.
after winning the Super Bowl.
But
so
rare.
he was part of that team and got kicked to the curb. At least he got his ring
Right.
for that team. And he got to play. He led the team to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady got injured in Pittsburgh, and Bledsoe carried
came
them
in
to
and
the
played well.
AFC
Right.
Championship. This is Winston getting thrown overboard a year before they develop a Super Bowl winner, and now he's in position where he can be the giant killer. And he's got to win the starting job before he can do it. But I'm just saying, think about that motivation. I was their guy, and then I wasn't, and they won a Super Bowl without me, and now I got a chance to be the starting quarterback against their top rival and keep them from doing it again. I'm just speaking of skill, everything else. That's a different conversation. The motivation that is there.
Yeah.
The thing that will get him out of bed every day, or should get him out of bed every day between now and the start of football season, I can't think of better motivation than that for Jameis Winston.
No,
and I suspect Sean Payton's already had that conversation.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, Sean Payton, we know he's feisty. He's probably all in on that. He's probably waking up every day going, man, I want to shove it up these Buccaneers' butts. I'm so sick of hearing this crap. I mean, that's just the way he is. I mean, he's edgy. So yeah, they're gonna be a motivated football team in general. And you're right, Jameis Winston is going to be highly motivated by a lot of different things, certainly. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he can do, if he does get that chance to be the starter. And, again, it's one of those things, too, where we talked about it a lot. I mean, it's backup quarterback for Taysom Hill, the way he plays the game, I would think more likely than not, you're going to get a chance to play at some point during the year. And I'm not wishing anything bad on Taysom Hill. I really like him. I'm rooting for him. I think he's got big-time talent. He can do some special things. There's no doubt about that. But Jameis Winston, whether you win the job or not, be ready to go, because we saw Taysom Hill get banged up a little last year. He's been banged up a few times the last few years. But now this year he's got to play quarterback every week if he wins the job. So hopefully Jameis will be ready to go.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.